We all love the world of professional wrestling, but the truth is the wrestlers that we've come to love over the years cannot keep doing it forever. And in this video, I'm going to be checking out Simon Miller and the 10 wrestlers he thinks will retire in 2023. It's from WhatCulture Wrestling. Let's check it out.
Now, as we know, wrestlers don't retire. I mean, they'll come on the television screen and go, I am retiring.
Ric
They'll
Flair
see
shot.
me again. And then 6 weeks will pass and they wake up and goes, shouldn't have done that.
Should've done that.
Then they come back. This is totally fine though, because don't forget, when you do hang up your boots, you're going to hang up your boots for good. So if you do get a little bit lonely and you need to go and roll around in a ring, I say, hell yeah, go and do it. However, it does come to us all, no matter what profession you're in. So I am Simon Miller. Welcome to WhatCulture Wrestling. Please hit that subscribe button. And using our brains and being massive nerds, here's 10 wrestlers who could retire in 2023. Number 10, Billy Gunn. Now, I say this,
Yeah,
but
this
will
is
he?
surprising.
Despite being 59 years old.
Oh, wow.
Billy Gunn is in tremendous shape, and when he wrestles, I'm like, bro,
He's 59.
how are you almost 60?
Wow.
This doesn't make any sense. So he's
I'm
an
impressed.
absolute specimen, and of course, right here, right now, along with the Acclaimed, he has found popularity maybe higher than even when he was back in the Attitude Era. I mean, this guy's absolutely smashing it. Time is a funny old thing,
guess
though,
so.
and he is about to enter his 7th decade. You have
Wow.
to think he's probably considering this. Although, I could throw a curveball straight away, because look at what Sting has been doing.
Yeah.
Yes, we're going to talk about him later. So, of
Yeah.
course, there is a chance that Billy does decide to walk away at the end of the year. But if he doesn't, and he keeps on going, and he keeps on being daddy ass, am I going to complain?
Absolutely not.
9, Dustin Rhodes. And this is mostly because he told us. And of course, anything can change in wrestling, but during a recent interview, Dustin Rhodes did indeed say he believes that 2023 will be his last year in the sport. And I tell you, that's a massive loss. 'Cause Rhodes has reminded
Edge has
us all
to be
over
on
the
this
last few
list,
years,
right?
Not only is he a severely underrated talent, but he has basically changed the game since day one. I mean, if you go all the way back to Goldust, sure, it was a bit controversial, but if you want to make the argument, it helped kickstart the Attitude Era.
It
I
did.
ain't going to argue with it. What's even crazier than this is that if Dustin does decide to keep going, nobody is going to blink, because again, he is so good in that ring.
Yeah.
Do not forget, he does have his wrestling school, and he is still going to be linked to the business, and anybody who is able to learn that tree is going to be better than they would have been otherwise.
Exactly, and unfortunately, he did lose his mom, I think, at the end of last year or the beginning of this year. So yeah, obviously that would be weighing on his mind heavily. I would imagine, at least. But I know Edge is definitely next on this list for sure.
Number 8, Edge.
There we
Edge's
go.
second run has been amazing. Not only because he was away from the ring for like 10 years, but when he had to give it up the first time, it was because he had a serious neck injury.
Yeah.
So for him to do what he's done over the last few years,
Crazy.
well, it's absolutely
Crazy.
ridiculous. And sure, the Judgment Day heel turn may have not been the greatest thing ever, but he and everybody else understood this. They went and made amends, and then he was just back to having amazing matches.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't remember the last time he had a bad one. The only reason that he does enter this list is because he too has
said
hinted
it.
that maybe 2023 will be his last
He
year.
actually said
He was
it.
talking about, oh my gosh, maybe I'll have this big match in Canada and I will walk away.
Yeah.
Look, he is a massive success out of wrestling. He's got a family and a budding acting career.
Yeah.
And what hasn't he done? Honestly, we could cross our arms and stand here and debate this for 10 minutes. Adam Copeland has done it all. And
Yeah.
of course, there's every chance he falls into that schedule where he does just come back once or twice a year, and I'd be cool with that. But it would mean saying goodbye properly.
Edge is 48.
I tell you,
You know.
what a flipping career he had.
Yeah, I mean, Edge is 48, I think. 48 or he's about to turn 49. So he's very close to 50. He's about to play Ares in, I think, Disney's latest Percy Jackson series, I think. I don't know if it's Percy Jackson. But he is, Edge has had a great 3-year run since coming back. Yeah, of course, the Judgment Day heel turn was not the best thing, but he has done well with it. I'll miss him when he's done, but it will be a well-deserved retirement.
Number 7, the Hardy Boys. Man, Jeff only had a brief run in AEW before they did have to put their tag team on hold again.
Yeah.
And of course, this was down to Jeff's personal problems. And as we always say, when it comes to health and happiness, that is far more important than doing some predetermined grappling. And that's why
Yes.
if he does decide to stay away, I suppose the Hardy Boys are already done. Now, Matt has come out and been very vocal about the fact that he would like to retire alongside his brother.
Yeah, but is it going to
Sometimes life
happen?
doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
maybe it's already gone kaput. If it is the way, though, you cannot look past what this pairing has done. I mean, they basically rewrote the rule book to the point you wouldn't have a lot of wrestlers today if it wasn't for the Hardy Boys once did. It's also astounding how long they've been going, because I'm pretty sure Jeff Hardy had like a dark match on Raw
as
in
Jeff
1996. So they've got
95 or
longevity
96.
too. When you see them in the ring, sure, they're a little bit slower, but they are not bad. I'd also imagine that Matt probably keeps chugging away because he is the master of reinventing himself. Selfishly, it would be nice to see them tag just one last time, but again, personal problems are more important than wrestling.
Yes.
I will say that till the cows come
He's
home.
probably the next version. Matt is the next
Orton.
version
But this
of
one,
Jericho.
very worrying. Because all the recent reported rumors
yeah.
state that Randy Orton's back injury is so bad, especially after having surgery, that he may never be able to return to a wrestling ring. And just quickly, forget what he's already achieved because it's ridiculous. The reason this makes me so damn sad in my tum-tum is before he did go away, he was teaming with Matt Riddle in the RK Bro tag team, and he just seemed to be having so much fun. So that came out the TV, it smacked me in the head. All of a sudden, I was having fun too.
Yeah, and I should mention this because it's very striking when I think about it. I think 2 weeks before the last time we saw him on TV, he had his 20th anniversary celebration on Raw, and he mentioned he would keep doing it as long as he could. Even he wants to be known as the guy who did it longer than Undertaker. He hammered on that, and then 2-3 weeks pass, and then we don't see him again, and then we hear about this. So it's really worrying. I hope he comes back. I really do. But recent pictures have also surfaced, and he looks great. But of course, his health is most important. And man, if he does retire, it will be an emotional thing. But he's earned it. If ever it is it for him,
He will be receiving the best care. Let's hope it's not the case, and he can return on a reduced schedule. But he is basically like Edge. If he does have to say, see you, pal, and walk off into the sunset, he cannot regret anything. He's an absolute legend. I mean, it still would be a shame because he's one of these guys that does deserve a proper send-off as everyone kind of dances around the ring.
Yes.
And hopefully, I am just being a worrying Walter. But when you remember what the RKO is, and that Randy Orton has essentially been landing on his back for 20 years.
Jeez.
I can imagine that does leave a pretty
Yeah.
mark. Number 5, John Cena. Well, it's got to happen eventually, doesn't it? Now, John Cena was able to squeeze his one match in 2022 on December the 30th.
And he will be at
could keep
Mania
that
this year
record going
against
that started back
Theory.
in 2002. And it seems very likely he's going to be at WrestleMania, where he's either going to be taking on Logan Paul or Austin Theory.
It's Theory.
With this evidence, though, and the fact that he is a proper Hollywood superstar now, I can see him doing WrestleMania 39, and then much like Dwayne Johnson, just going, well, I'm an actor now, and I'm not going to be back that much. This makes perfect sense, too, because if he is going to be in more films, and he is going to be in more TV shows, he has to protect his body. Because all it takes is one minor injury,
and you get the link forever.
Shut down. We all know the deal with his legacy too. I mean, he's basically untouchable. But don't forget, when he was announced to that SmackDown last year,
it sold
they
out.
just sold the building out. John Cena is a star.
Yes,
so it's
he
hard
is.
to see him doing anything after WrestleMania 39. Although, of course, when we get to Mania 40, he'll probably make an appearance. But if you do like Big Match John, I'd enjoy the next one. I don't think you'll get him anymore. Number 4, Sting. So we mentioned
this man is
I gotta tell the
63.
truth.
Crazy.
It sucks. Now, it's not a huge surprise because I'm pretty sure that Sting is 63 this year. But in a recent interview, he did say, well, my AEW contract is
We've helped millions
and
of
I go ahead with
creators
an ad.
improve their SEO to grow their YouTube channels. TubeBuddy is a platform
up very soon. And when it does, I do believe I will retire. Steve Austin also said that he thinks Darby Allin will be involved at some point, so maybe those two finally have a match and Darby beats him before he does go away.
Yeah.
I would just be so upset
Darby's
when this does
basically
happen.
his son, man.
I mean, I loved Sting before, but everything he has done in All Elite Wrestling has been so damn good. And look, I don't think his WWE run was an absolute disaster, but in comparison, this is the type of send-off that heroes like this deserve. Number 3, Rey Mysterio. And we talked about this on another video recently, and I'll be honest with you,
Makes sense.
I don't know what to expect.
Makes
The only
sense.
reason I
That
put
makes
Rey
sense.
Mysterio in here is because he's almost 50. He has had a lot of injuries.
Damn.
And if we do get to WrestleMania 39 and he has that big match against Dominic, his son, which he's wanted for ages, will he go when his contract comes due? Well, what else am I going to do? I mean, I already changed wrestling back in the late 90s. maybe I'll just go home and sleep. I really
Sure.
think it depends on how his body is holding up. Because did you see what he did over the last 12 months? Ray doesn't make any sense when it comes to wrestling, because he still moves like he's in his 20s.
Yeah.
Whereas look at me, I'm in my 30s, I can basically not get out of bed. And do not forget that it will be a huge deal if Ray does decide to retire, because again, you can find your favorite wrestler of 2023, and I will bet my ass, not that anybody wants that, they were inspired by Rey Mysterio. I mean, he was an absolute revelation in 1997, and he's continued to keep it up ever since.
Yeah, and honestly, with Ray, I think there's 2 matches that he should have before he goes. One, of course, against Dominic, which I believe will happen at this year's WrestleMania. But the second, Santos Escobar. Now, I don't remember if it's happened. I want to think it has. I just don't remember it. But that match has to happen. And once he has those 2, he could do anything he wants. Ray is already goated, no matter what he does. It would be a well-deserved retirement for him. Absolutely.
Brock Lesnar. Because if he wants to go,
He will go.
he's just gonna go. I mean,
Yep.
Brock Lesnar is already on a lesser schedule these days and is essentially a gun for hire.
Yeah.
When you kind of sit down and think about it, what else is he actually gonna do? Now, I would like to see the long-rumored Gunther match at WrestleMania 39, but when that is done, win or lose, you kind of survey the situation.
What
and
else
he's
is
fought
there?
Everybody. He's won every title, and he's made a bunch of cash.
He hasn't
Maybe
won.
It's time to go.
He has not won the U.S. title or the Intercontinental. I don't think he's even won Tag Team Gold, has he? That would be a very interesting. Who would team with Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar tag team? Make it happen, Trips, please.
Back to his ranch and just be quiet. Money will likely play a part because we know at heart Brock is a businessman.
Yeah.
But he also absolutely hates people. So if there is like a big company
I think that's
sale or Vince
cleared.
McMahon goes again, maybe he just can't be bothered.
I think that's cleared
Never
over the
forget
years,
how
to be
great
honest.
he was either. I mean this. He is absolutely in my top 10 list, and don't come and at me.
Hmm.
Because he approached the business in a different way didn't mean he kicked all of the ass.
You don't
He
agree.
absolutely did. Number 1, CM Punk. Now I'll tell you,
Yeah.
I don't want this. Because after CM Punk returned in 2021 and set the wrestling world crazy, he not only proved he still had the chops, but he engaged with a feud with NJF that became Wrestling Feud of the Year.
Yeah.
That doesn't just happen, you've got to be really good. The problem though, as we know, is that we don't know if Punk is going to make amends with AEW, and we have no idea what his relationship with WWE is, especially with Vince McMahon back in power. So it may be a case that CM Punk wants to wrestle for a major
Yeah.
promotion, but there's nowhere to go. Now, I do want to say that I think wrestling is
this
better with
sucks.
CM Punk in it, but once again, he is a top-tier talent, and therefore he wants to be involved with a top-tier company. So this one is going to be very interesting to watch.
Yeah,
I tell
yeah,
you.
yeah,
I can't call it. I mean, that's kind of always been the way. So basically, I really do hope that AEW and Punk can make amends and we can get back on track with this, because there is so much we didn't do. I mean, one of the feuds I always wanted to see was Punk versus Kenny Omega, but that one,
Oh, yeah.
just throw it over there.
That happened backstage, so...
We're gonna get it. Now, please do leave a comment below.
We
and
should
let me
never
know
get
any
it.
other wrestlers you think may retire in 2023, or have I got any of these ones wrong?
Man,
Either one way to
oh
find out.
man, yeah, I think this was a good list. I'll be honest. A few ones, you know, the Billy Gunn one definitely caught me off guard. The CM Punk one makes sense. I really wonder what the deal is with him in AEW. I don't think he would go back. It will take quite a while, you know. At least, I don't think men hold too many grudges. I mean, we do hold grudges, but they fade away after a while, I think. And considering, you know, all the things we've heard about him being a bit of a prima donna and whatnot, I guess time will tell. We'll figure it out. But thank you so much for watching this video. If you did like it and you want to see more, please do like this video and subscribe to this channel. Check out my other channel on which I make interesting videos on that I think you would like. And I will see you in another one. Till then, take care. Bye.